Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ljs Garage, and behind me is a 2000 Jeep Wrangler, and this one's known as the TJ, and to me, the best generation of the Wrangler, as well as this one's extra special because I used to own this Jeep. So the owner agreed to let me take it for a spin and do a little video on it, so I want to show you guys around, so stay tuned, we're going to get into it. One of my favorite things about the Wranglers is that they're fully customizable. You can make them yours, and this one, you know, I did just that. These fenders are painted, the side mirrors are refreshed. Really the rest of it's stock, but these nice wheels, these are hand hooks, they're beautiful tires, running boards, all of that good stuff. I mean, really there isn't anything that you can't visualize and make possible on these Wranglers, and that's what I do love. The best part about a Wrangler is obviously the off-road capabilities. Look at this ride height, throw some aftermarket wheels on there, improve the suspension, and you've got one badass off-roading machine. And even from the factory, just leaving it stock, this is one capable off-road machine. Speaking of customizations, lights, that's a big one. Light bars, I don't have one on this one, or the current owner doesn't have one on this, but that's one modification you see on a lot of Jeeps. You've got a winch right here for when you get stuck and do Jeep things. You flip it, roll it, whatever it may be. A winch is never a bad idea. There's a lot of cool things that you can do on this Jeep, and the current owner actually did a lot of this front setup, but the lights and everything like that, it's just kind of a necessary thing when you've got a Jeep, especially if you do go off-road. You can throw a light bar on there. The possibilities are endless, and so it's just a cool thing to do with these Jeep, is to just take it and make it your own. If you're looking for a sports car, this isn't it. If you're looking for something that's super great handling, this isn't it. If you're looking for a really comfortable ride, this isn't it. But why do people love the Wrangler? Just because it's cool. It's just the coolest thing. It's unique. You can pop the doors off, you can take the top off. It's a two-door convertible, but not in the traditional way that you would expect a two-door convertible to be. This is one, it's a different kind of two-door convertible. One of my favorite things about the TJ is it's right after the 80s, 90s where they had the stupid square headlights. I'm a huge fan of the round headlights. I'm glad they brought that back, and it's a signature Jeep thing. As far as everything else, honestly, if you haven't seen a Jeep before, I don't know if you've been living under a rock or something, there isn't really a whole lot to say that hasn't been said. These are tried and true, they're all over the roads, they sell well, it's a Jeep. So I'm not gonna bore you with details. And as far as aerodynamics go, let me just tell you, this thing is like driving a barn door down the highway. It is not aerodynamic, it is not fuel efficient, it is none of those things. But guess what, who cares? When I first purchased this Jeep, the owner told me that he had never taken these doors off ever in the entire life of this Jeep. But I made sure I fixed that. So now I wanna show you guys how easy it is to take the doors off of this Jeep. All right, so normally if you take your doors on and off pretty regularly, they're pretty easy to pop off. Otherwise, you just unscrew right here, unscrew right here. There's a little latch on the inside, pop that off, and then the doors pop right off. It's just that easy, right? The one thing that I never thought of is that when you pop these doors off, the side mirrors come with them, obviously, because they are attached to the door. So I took the doors off, and then I realized driving down the road that I have no side mirrors. So luckily, Jeep's thought of that, and the aftermarket is plenty available with options to fix that for you. So you can take these side mirrors off and actually put them right in the hinges where the doors used to sit. And then you can even have little foot pegs so you can pop your leg out and rest them while you cruise down the road in your two-door convertible. The one thing that I never got the chance to do in this beauty is actually take this top off. It's a really easy process. There's just two little latches in there, Velcro, and everything pops right off. You can unzip these windows and do everything that you need to do. Really easy process. Plenty of videos out there on the YouTubes for you guys to enjoy with that. I just didn't do it because I don't tan very well. I just kind of get really hot and uncomfortable, so I'd rather just take the doors off and leave the top on for a little shade. Moving to the back of the Jeep, you can see that these bumpers are just freaking metal bumpers. The best thing about that is you get into an accident, you hit something like a rock, you know, you just pop these bumpers off, polish them off a little bit, and throw them right back on, or just order a new set, because parts for the Jeep are pretty affordable. Yes, you can dump a lot of money to them if you want, but you can go to a junkyard, go online, eBay, what have you, and you can make this Jeep look beautiful again for nothing. As you can see down here, you've got a tow hitch. So yes, you can actually tow with a Jeep. Not a whole lot, just 2,000 pounds or so with the inline six, or if you've got the 4-cylinder, that's about 1,000 pounds, give or take. But nonetheless, you do have the option to tow. If you're worried about being able to pick up groceries in this thing, don't worry, you've got some cargo space. Check this out. Look at that. You can fit like a watermelon or 2 or 3 or 4 in there. Under the hood is a 4-liter inline 6. That makes 180 horsepower and about 220 foot-pounds of torque. This one doesn't have a whole lot done to it. It's got an intake thrown on there, a little aftermarket thing. If you decide to keep the back seats in, then great for you. But if not, and you pop them out, there's a good bit of cargo space to be had. But as far as accessing the back seats go, all you do is you just pull these little tabs right here. Seat will pop forward, and then you're able to climb in gracefully. And now you're in the back seat, and let's pull this seat forward. And as you can see, that's about all the room that you're gonna get. And then moving forward, if you look up top, you actually have a nice set of speakers right here. So your speakers are easily accessible when you want to upgrade them. And it's really all there is to the back seat of this Jeep. As far as the interior goes, it's a Jeep. There isn't a whole lot to do. There isn't a whole lot needed. It's pretty much all I've done is I've upgraded the stereo. The new owner hasn't really done anything otherwise. This one's a sport, but it does have cruise control. It does have air conditioning. And that's something that you have to look out for, because at the time, a lot of these didn't have air conditioning. So, you know, you just got to shop around for what you want. This one is a 6-speed manual, but you do have the option of an automatic if you want. Fun fact for you guys, the Postal Service used to use a lot of these Jeep back in the day to deliver mail. And so you can actually find some of these on Craigslist all around that actually are right-hand drive. So it's a pretty cool thing to look out for. I can't say it's something that I would want. I enjoy the left hand, but that option is out there for some of you guys. For those of you guys that have some passengers that are a little bit more afraid and not into the whole adventure lifestyle, you can actually add a bunch of these little, poop handles, whatever you want to call them. And they're really easy, really affordable. And I've got one on the passenger, one on the driver's side. You can throw some in the back. And really simple modifications that you can do all over this Jeep to make it your own, make it fun, make it customizable. It's one of my favorite things about owning one of these. Another thing I want to point out is a lot of people always ask, well, if you take the doors off, then what about all your stuff? It's going to get stolen. Well, it could, but Jeep's got you covered because this locks and this locks. So, I mean, really, there's really not much stuff that you're carrying in your car unless you've got your family jewels, you know, locked up in here somewhere. Just in case you decide to do any evasive maneuvers, Jeep kindly warns you to avoid abrupt maneuvers and excessive speed because this thing is very bumpy. Sticking with old school tradition, you've got wind-up windows, and you can actually, on the newer Jeep, obviously you've got power windows and all that cool stuff, but who needs that? I just want to point out something. You see that this maxes out at 100? These aren't very fast. This moves very slow, but this fuel gauge right here, that moves very fast. These are not fuel efficient at all. Let's do a quick check to make sure that it's not in gear, but if you shake it more than twice, that means you're playing with it. So my favorite thing is that even though this is a very torquey engine, the transmission being only 5 speeds, they're super, super short gears. So by the time that you're going, you know, 35, 40, you're probably already going to be in 5th gear if you care about fuel efficiency. Otherwise, you could kind of rev it, not necessarily high because this doesn't rev very high. Revs at about redlines 5,000 RPM. So be prepared to shift quite a lot, but it's fun. Cool thing with this is it also has a shift light because again, you're going to shift all the time. Before you know it, you're in 5th gear and you pretty much just hang out there, you're cruising. The death wobbles, those are a real thing. So whenever you get this sucker up to like 60, 65, prepare to realize that you're pretty much maxing out where this thing should be on the road comfortably. So once you get into the 70, 75 for the real adventurous, then you're kind of bouncing, shaking, vibrations everywhere. If you can afford a hardtop or, you know, have someone that's giving you a hardtop, I would suggest that because the soft top is fairly noisy. It's not the most romantic car to be in, but it's really not that bad. You get used to it. It's just a Jeep thing. You just deal with it. Another good thing about these Jeep is that their wheelbase is super, super short, so you can park them anywhere. It's not necessarily a city car by any means. You can't talk about a Jeep Wrangler without talking about durability and reliability. These are pretty much bulletproof, especially the 4-liter inline 6. The transmissions are solid as well. There's really not a whole lot to complain about. You just have to know that when you get into a Wrangler, that it's not a luxury vehicle by any means. If you want that, you want to go towards one of the newer Jeep models, but that's why I like the TJ. It's one of the last true Jeep that just is rough and rugged, but at the same time, it makes you feel good. It's like a little toy that someone's always wanted as a kid and they finally can get in it and feels good. And that's why I always loved having this. And the only reason I got rid of it was just because I needed something more fun and sporty. And this thing is not at all fuel efficient. It's got a 19-gallon tank. So you're basically driving around a truck without the towing capability, the space, and all of that other good stuff that comes with having a truck. In here is really tight. Not necessarily so small that like it's uncomfortable, but you and your passengers are gonna share a small armrest. You guys are gonna bump shoulders, and everyone is just right on top of each other, which makes things very intimate in here. So if you're looking for a nice intimate vehicle to have your friends in, this is it. There are no real blind spots on this thing. You can see everywhere. The ride height is nice, like I said earlier. So it's pretty much a really easy vehicle to drive. And then once you pop the doors off, you can see everything for real. And it makes it better so that when your Jeep friends come by, you can hit them with the Jeep wave and make sure you have a great time on the road, or whatever you Jeep guys do now. Thank you guys for checking out yet another episode of LJ's Garage. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button and hit that comment button and let me know down below what you guys think of the Wrangler TJ. Be sure to stay tuned for more.